Did you know there was a company that stole $74 billion from thousands of Americans and almost got away with it?
Enron Corporation was founded in 1985 in Houston, Texas by Kenneth Lay. It started as a simple natural gas pipeline company, but by the late 1990s, Enron had transformed itself into one of the largest energy trading companies in the entire world, with over 20,000 employees across 40 countries. Behind Enron's success were two men: Kenneth Lay, the founder and chairman, born in Tyrone, Missouri in 1942, who built the company from nothing, and Jeffrey Skilling, the CEO, born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 1953, a Harvard Business School graduate who transformed Enron into a financial powerhouse. Together, they would orchestrate one of the greatest corporate frauds in American history.
Enron's secret weapon was a complex accounting trick called mark-to-market accounting. Instead of recording actual profits, Enron would estimate future profits from long-term contracts and record them immediately as current income. This allowed them to show billions of dollars in fake profits that didn't actually exist. Their accountants at Arthur Andersen, one of the biggest accounting firms in the world, helped them hide the losses in hundreds of secret shell companies. By 2000, Enron was named America's most innovative company by Fortune magazine for 6 consecutive years. The company's stock price had risen to $90 per share. Enron was the 7th largest company in the entire United States, worth over $70 billion. Employees were encouraged to invest their entire retirement savings in Enron stock. Nobody suspected anything was wrong.
In March 2001, financial analyst Bethany McLean, working for Fortune magazine in New York, published a groundbreaking article titled, "Is Enron Overpriced?" She had noticed that despite Enron's massive reported profits, the company's financial statements were impossible to understand. Nobody could explain exactly how Enron was actually making its money. Her article was the first crack in the wall. In August 2001, Enron Vice President Sharon Watkins sent an anonymous letter to Kenneth Lay, warning him that Enron would implode in a wave of accounting scandals. She had discovered the hidden losses buried in the shell companies. The same month, Jeffrey Skilling suddenly resigned as CEO after just 6 months in the role, claiming personal reasons. Wall Street began to panic.
On December 2, 2001, Enron filed for bankruptcy. At the time, it was the largest corporate bankruptcy in American history. The company's stock had collapsed from $90 per share to just 26 cents. Over 20,000 employees lost their jobs overnight. Thousands of employees who had invested their entire retirement savings in Enron stock lost everything. Some employees lost over $1 million in retirement savings. The Securities and Exchange Commission launched a formal investigation into Enron's accounting practices. The FBI joined the investigation. What they discovered was devastating. Enron had been hiding over $1 billion in debt using hundreds of secret shell companies. Their accountants at Arthur Andersen had helped them deceive investors for years. And when investigators arrived, Arthur Andersen employees were caught shredding thousands of Enron documents. In 2004, Kenneth Lay was indicted on 11 counts of securities fraud and making false statements. Jeffrey Skilling was indicted on 35 counts of fraud, insider trading, and other crimes. Andrew Fastow, Enron's chief financial officer from Lafayette, Louisiana, had already pleaded guilty to 2 counts of conspiracy and agreed to cooperate with investigators in exchange for a reduced sentence of 6 years in prison. The trial of Kenneth Lay and Jeffrey Skilling began on January 30, 2006 in Houston, Texas. It lasted 4 months. Former employees testified about how they had lost their entire life savings. Retirees described losing everything they had worked for over 30 years. The prosecution presented overwhelming evidence of deliberate fraud, showing how Lay and Skilling had personally sold millions of dollars of Enron stock while telling employees the company was doing fine.
On May 25, 2006, the jury delivered its verdict. Kenneth Lay was found guilty on all 6 counts against him. Jeffrey Skilling was found guilty on 19 of the 35 counts against him, including conspiracy and securities fraud. The verdict shocked the corporate world. 2 of America's most powerful executives had been found guilty of one of the greatest financial crimes in American history.
Kenneth Lay never went to prison. On July 5, 2006, just 44 days after being found guilty, Kenneth Lay died of a heart attack at his vacation home in Aspen, Colorado. He was 64 years old. Because he died before sentencing, his conviction was legally vacated under U.S. law, meaning he was officially cleared of all charges after death. Jeffrey Skilling was sentenced to 24 years and 4 months in federal prison, one of the longest sentences ever given for white-collar crime in American history. He also had to forfeit $45 million. After years of appeals, his sentence was reduced to 14 years. He was released from federal prison in February 2019 after serving 12 years. The real victims of the Enron scandal were ordinary Americans.
Over 20,000 employees lost their jobs. Thousands of employees who had been encouraged to invest their retirement savings in Enron stock lost everything overnight. Some retirees lost over $1 million in savings they had spent 30 years building. The total losses to investors reached $74 billion, making it one of the most devastating financial crimes ever committed against ordinary American workers. The Enron scandal changed America forever. The U.S. government passed the Sarbanes-Oxley Act in 2002, one of the most significant pieces of financial regulation in American history, making it a criminal offense for executives to certify false financial statements. But the real lesson is simple. When something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Always ask questions, always demand transparency, and never invest everything in one place. This has been the true and complete story of Enron, the company that stole $74 billion from thousands of ordinary Americans and changed corporate America forever. Subscribe to Scam Report for more real stories of fraud and deception from around the world. Hit the bell so you never miss a story. New video every week. Like this video if the Enron story shocked you. Comment below, did you know about Enron before watching this? And subscribe to Scam Report and hit the bell. We have more shocking true stories coming every week. Don't miss them.